So the critics so far are not enjoying Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
No.
And the people who haven't seen it yet, or maybe who are excited about it, are kind of having an issue with this. We've seen like kind of a weird backlash to some of the critical responses it's gotten. Critics can be foofy. They can be stuffy. Not all critics are cool backwards hat wearing skateboard dudes like these two right here.
Foofy?
Foofy.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, we're just gonna keep making
Like
up words on the show
like Gene Shalit's hair.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
All right,
foofy.
there we go.
Anyway, here's some little bits and pieces of things that are being said about Batman v Superman. These are pulled from Rotten Tomatoes. If you're unfamiliar, Rotten Tomatoes is not a site that reviews movies. It is a site that aggregates everybody else's reviews and basically averages out their score to create kind of a meter. It's like
That's
Metacritic.
Right. Yeah, it's Metacritic. It's not a man. It's not one person.
Yeah.
It's not one guy.
Not
it is
Robert
just
Tomatoes.
So don't get mad
Yeah.
at Robert Tomato himself.
Robert Tomato is a great critic. He
Yeah.
writes over for the St. Louis Post. And anyway, let's take a look at what people are saying. First up, local, we've got San Francisco Chronicle, a fun establishment. Snyder sets his story within our modern world and attempts to fashion a kind of commentary on the media and the current geopolitical situation. What he has crafted instead is a grotesque expression of modern emptiness.
Huh.
Woof.
Wow.
That's pretty rough. San Francisco, though, I will say, is a city of pretentious windbags. So let's see what other cities are saying about this movie about orphans punching each other. Oh boy, Seattle Times says a joyless slog. And that's coming from Seattle, which is a pretty depressing city in itself.
Yeah, that place is a joyless slog.
Yeah, they invented grunge. It's a sad place, and they don't even want to see. Honestly, being in Seattle and being like, I want to go see a summer movie, and then you go see a movie that's it's all in rain and gray, and they're like, why did I come in this room? Why did I come in here to watch more weather conditions I could see outside?
A puppy covered in rain and crying is basically like the happiest thing you can find in Seattle.
That's coming out in August, though. The puppy covered in rain crying.
Directed by Zack Snyder.
Then we've got New York Times. This is the original newspaper of America. The studio has, in the usual way, begged and bullied critics not to reveal plot points, and I wouldn't dream of denying you the thrill of discovering just how overstuffed and preposterous a movie narrative can be.
So that seems to be kind of a running theme, and I think it's because the running time is like way over 2.5 hours.
It's pushing 3 hours.
It's pushing 3 hours. There's actually apparently a 30 minutes worth of stuff that was cut from the film, so you'll get this kind of Lord of the Rings-esque version of this movie.
It's a weird thing where some people like longer movies.
Yeah.
I mean, we both said that we watched an extended cut of The Force Awakens, which they chopped a bunch out of, apparently. I love Lord of the Rings. I watch those extended versions all the time. You can't stand that because they walk everywhere.
I'm just not wild about the theme. Like, I'm not crazy about high fantasy.
Those are based on incredibly long, verbose books. I think when you're adapting a comic book or making a comic book movie about superheroes, you kind of have to have a certain brevity to it because it's meant to be like, it's supposed to be sort of fast food, and if you're going to do like something big and fleshed out, then you have to keep it well paced. But anyway,
I think that the length of a movie is exactly that. It's tied very coherently to its pacing.
Yeah.
And when that's working, it's okay. Like, I've walked out of movies that were 2.5 hours long where I was just like, oh, that flew by.
Yeah.
I mean, The Dark Knight is not a short film.
Yeah.
Force Awakens is not a short film. But they felt brisk. They were energetically paced,
Yeah, great example though was Gravity. That movie's like just about 90 minutes, something like that. It's super fast paced, and I went and saw that movie, and I don't feel like I was bored or even thinking about anything but the movie at any point during that film.
The difference
because it's just tight, it's short, And
Gravity didn't launch a cinematic universe full of new characters and stuff like that.
So moving on, we've got Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is basically a dumpster fire.
Was that a heart wipe you just did? How did that?
I didn't do that.
Can
Those
you do
were
that
the
again?
mummies in the back.
Can you do that heart? What?
Yeah.
What? Stop doing that.
We couldn't find the shape of a dumpster fire. So that's pretty rough. I will be fair here. They also said, but within the rubble there is something, there is something salvageable or whatever. It's like that seems to be also a big thing, is that there are pieces of a good movie in this larger bad movie. Eventually, the script's illogic and the relentless pounding of the action scenes wear you down. Ouch. Okay.
What is with? Hey, what's with the what? What is going on with the wipes? I love these transitions right now.
I'm gonna do it. Actually, yeah.
Who's a star? We are.
Yeah. So
we actually have no control over that. That's the wonderful people in the control room right now.
They're doing that. Let's do that one more time. How many stars did this movie get? 1!